The HOA, the Homeowners Association Agreement, where you have to give up a lot of your freedoms that you used to have when you just owned a regular house out in the country or in the city. Of course, ordinances fall into place whether you live in the country or the city, but we won't broach on that subject right now as far as ordinances in and around your community. We're talking about HOA agreements and contracts. Now, common sense tells me, and of course I don't even have to worry about it because I don't live in a neighborhood, don't sign this contract. If you want to maintain your freedom to choose, your freedom of choice, don't sign the agreement. For instance, I know of a neighborhood where you have to give up the freedom to choose the color and style of your mailbox and the color and size of the slide for your kids' play structure in the backyard. Now, why on earth would anyone buying a home or a condo, or even a trailer in a mobile home park, allow a small board, that group of people called HOA directors, why would you or anyone else even want to pay the HOA fees to allow a group of strangers that you now call neighbors? Why would you want to give them the authority to dictate the color and size of your mailbox or the color of the slide on your kid's play structure? And it doesn't stop just there with mailboxes and slides. Oh no. I did a search on that big social network page called Facebook. I typed in the words HOA complaints, and here are some of the things that popped up on Facebook. The first thing I clicked on were the two recent complaints from a Menlo Park, California Homeowners Association. And this is about the installation of those plastic signs that are about the size of children, which are holding signs or flags reminding drivers to slow down. The two complaints? Get this. Number one, these little plastic children are ugly and they make me slow down. I love how that first complaint right there states that the signs are ugly, yet they are working. Complaint number two, I want the sign that tells me to drive slowly taken down. I don't like being told what to do. Well, heaven forbid, second complaint person, if you happen to live in that neighborhood and you signed an HOA to live in that neighborhood, because people are telling you what to do. Hello. This just in from Oklahoma's Homeowners Association. We are getting a lot of complaints about residents not cleaning up after their dogs. Now, common sense, if you're going to walk your dog in the city or the sidewalk in the country, it's fine. If you're out in the country between the cornfield and the edge of the road, I don't care if your dog poops, your cat, your bear, whatever pet you have. But if you're in the city, if you're in the village, or if you're in your neighborhood, for gosh sakes, clean up after your dog when it takes a dump. Don't just leave it there on the sidewalk or leave it in somebody's front yard. That is completely rude. Common sense would tell you that. But let me go on to say, from this HOA in Oklahoma, we are getting a lot of complaints about residents not cleaning up after their dogs. Now get this, folks. This is not an HOA issue, they stated in this update. This is being a good neighbor issue. Well, duh. If your neighbor poops in your yard, if your puppy poops in your neighbor's yards while you're walking them, please be a good neighbor and pick the poop up. If your children are walking the dogs, please explain to them that they have to clean up after the dog. Thank you. It's not an HOA issue. It's just a good neighbor issue. But yet they posted on their HOA page. But I get that. I wouldn't. But if you're walking on a sidewalk and you're paying attention, looking down the sidewalk, as you should, aim high in steering while you're driving, aim high while you're walking, and look down and you see some dark object in the sidewalk, you're going to investigate it when you get closer. From an HOA in Florida. Parents, please talk to your children about respecting other people's yards. We're getting complaints of kids running through some people's yards, using residents' yards as a shortcut. Thank you. What in the wide, wide world of sports do they do during Halloween in Florida? I remember as a kid in my neighborhood, I was constantly running through the yards to get to that next bucket of candy a lot quicker than the kids that would go down the driveway, out onto the road, and back up the driveway. But speaking of kids, this from San Diego, California, an HOA out there, titled "The HOA Literally Drove Us Out." This actually made the news in California and San Diego. Two local families claimed their homeowners association wouldn't allow their children to enjoy the outdoors. The couples say they reviewed the bylaws and nowhere did it say kids couldn't play outside. Yet, they were receiving several complaints about the noise of their children playing, laughing, screaming. You know how kids are. Come on, we were all kids at one time. So to avoid the stress and the complaints, these two families literally moved out of their neighborhood. Now, common sense says, hey, let kids be kids. Let them have fun. Let them go out and fly a kite. Red Rover, send Johnny on over. Let's go play tag. Let's go use somebody's extra backlot to play a game of football or frisbee tag or whatever. Common sense would tell you to let kids be kids and let's have some fun. But sometimes common sense just isn't out there anymore. That's the subject for today. Try to use some common sense while you're out there today, folks. Hey, thanks for watching this video today. Click the like button below and feel free to share it if you'd like to. I'm Tom Chalker.